So, hello guys, and God bless you. And we're on a walk today, like we usually are. And it's a nice sunny day. We are on the first episode. We are on the fifth one, I think today. Yes, the fifth one of the Agios Athanatos Orthodox Podcast. And the first episode was on what to do if you're getting persecuted in these modern times. And I shared an example from my school. And what else? Oh yes, and we need to stay together, and that's why I said we need an Orthodox revolution, because we really need that. We need to stay together. We need to stay together, and that's why I put the Orthodox revolution, because we have come too far apart, too modernized these days, and it's the end of times, with different prophecies that have been completed and done. They have been checked off the list of prophecies before the second coming, and Satan's time of his 1,000-year reign is almost over, and that's why we're seeing all these disasters. And I did a video yesterday, but it was kind of like I filmed it, but I didn't upload it, and it was kind of like a lazy video. It was kind of like a lazy video, and because I think it was about the church's enemies, but I kind of talked about other topics and things. But it wasn't really that interesting to me, or it wasn't really that focused on something. And this one's more interesting because I think I want to make this more interesting, because it's more focused around one topic. We can talk about the enemies of the church and LGBT and all of that, and see more into sins and everything, and other videos. But I want to really talk about what one of the prophecies, like I was saying, prophecies being done and completed. One of them was that Syria will be in chaos before Erdogan is kicked down, the streets are closed, and then the Battle of Constantinople happens, and Greece has Russia and Greece will take Constantinople, and then Greece will be on the air. They'll have their golden age, basically, until Christ comes. And that's Arius Paisios, and this other person, she was from Crete, she said that, and many other people said that. Well, and that's the Syria part happened. Middle East war is happening. Israel with their friends like America and the global Israel Jewish cabal that owns the world. They put the Great Reset plan in full swing, so we might be in trouble. This is all meant to happen, but you have to be prepared, because it's still not an easy thing, even though it was all said. The people said that it will happen, but it's not easy to live through, so we have to be prepared. And yes, the first video was to basically come together and to say that you're not alone if you're being discriminated or modern day persecuted. Yes, and then I made an example of how I am, of me, in that video. And yes, an Orthodox revolution to bring people together. And in the second video, of my podcast. It was not to judge your enemies, to pray for them. What happens after you get persecuted? Do you judge them? No. So the second video followed up on that. Don't judge them, pray for them, because they're making a mistake. And pray that God helps them. In the end, if they don't fix their behavior, they get judged by God. The only one that can judge them is God and no one else. So just pray for them, because the amount of pain they will go through is not, no one should go through that. Just think of that. If you're not on God's side, you're on death's side, basically, because He's the truth and everyone goes through Him. I kind of forgot that quote, but yes, there was a quote about God that said like He's the truth and the life, and no one goes through Him or something. But yes, He's the truth, and if you want to get to the Father, you have to get through Him. So yes, He's the only truth, no one else. So you pray for them. That was my second video. And my third video was a different one. It was I think something about sins or something, and being grateful. Number 4 was something else that kind of followed it up, and now this one will be the first 4 videos the first 4 videos they kind of click together. What if you're persecuted? Don't judge them, be grateful, and the 4th one kind of does as well. Now this one will be a bit different, focused. So we're starting to number 5, because because number 4 is just 2 and 2. We have to make it 5, because 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have to add another 5, a 5th one, because my OCD and everything. It's just more convenient, and I had to make another video to sum the first part of the first 4 videos are the kind of click together like that, so that's good. But now we're starting to getting into the main, more advanced part of the series. So the 5th one this video is the 5th one, so of the Agios Athanatos Orthodox Podcast. So, but it's not really like the other ones. But I just wanted to make another video on my YouTube channel, because my Rumble channel that has no followers, so you can go and check that out. It's in the description of every video, I think. And some other channels I recommend that are probably on the Rumble as well. Patristic, Nectar, and Orthodox Ethos. They're very good. You should check them out, especially if you're new to Orthodoxy or Christianity, or interested in this topic, or just want to be awakened in general. And basically, yes. And my Yanis 138 Freedom. It'll be in the description. Is my Rumble account. No videos. I have like 2-3 videos. 2 Orthodox podcast videos and 1 gardening video. This is my current channel. It used to be a whatever random video channel before it was this. For a long time, gardening and random videos. And that one has a gardening video because it was during the pandemic, because I was a freedom fighter like many people. And I went on to Rumble to make my garden videos because everyone was scared that the government will take over the internet and everything. So that's why I kind of moved over there during the lockdown. And there's a gardening video and 2 little Orthodox videos, podcast videos like this on there. And I'll start to upload there if I get more followers and more interested. But if not, if it's not really interesting, I'll update it. We don't want to stay behind on that. Just like with my gardening series, I kind of abandoned it. So I won't completely abandon that, but I'll focus mostly on YouTube for now. Unless something changes with YouTube and everyone is banned, unless YouTube becomes more dictatorship and I need to go on Rumble, then I will be more on YouTube but still update to Rumble, so that's good. Yes, in my basically this one will be about the new topic on the toppling of the Assad regime, which is a very big thing. Syria and chaos and everything. That's a prophecy. So who was Assad? Assad was a pro-Russian politician that he was from a family. His dad was an Assad person. He was from the same family that they ruled Syria since the 50s. And they fought ISIS. They nearly got toppled the first time, kicked out by ISIS, but Russia came in. His friend Putin and Iran came in, and they helped him. And then it was all fine until Erdogan went into Syria in I think 2019 or 2020, and he took some of Syria, which was his first part of recreating the Ottoman Empire. There's a deeper story, but that was his first part of his recent that he put into action, going into Syria and making a buffer zone, so between them and Syria, so no immigrants come in. So then they paused fighting, and Erdogan said, "You have to recognize this. You should recognize this, so we make peace." And then Assad said, "No, get out of our land." Which is, I don't blame him, because Erdogan is an Islamo-fascist dictator. That's what he is. Very, very fascist person. Greek people don't like him. Syrian people don't like him. No one. The only people that like him are fascists and Nazis, and I don't know who else, but these extreme people probably. But I don't like him either. Probably he's friends with Russia for now, but kind of probably faking it. He only wants what is best for him, which is Islamic terrorist New Ottoman Empire probably. So we shouldn't trust him, but he's probably the best person for the job, to be in Turkey, because like the next prophecy says, after Syria is in chaos, another person will come, and this person will be worse than Erdogan. So I think he's bad, but not as bad as the person that will come after Erdogan. So we have to be careful with that. And now with the Ukraine war, Ukraine's been funding terrorists, in Syria, Sudan. But in Sudan it's kind of weird. It's like a Nigeria war situation with Soviet Union and America on one side. I think it was a bit complicated, Nigeria war. Same with Sudan. And Ukraine and Russia are in the same team in Sudan for some reason, I don't know. But yes, they're on the same team, and but Ukraine is also funding the opposition rebels, more like terrorist rebels. America does what it does best and do what America does and fund the terrorists like they usually do. That's how they destroyed Afghanistan. Pay attention. In the 80s, America funded the Taliban, the Mujahideen, I think Mujahideen or something it was called, some Islamic terrorists, ultra-Islamic fascist people, and they weren't good. And then they went after the Soviet Union left, fighting them, because America was against the Soviet Union and India's friendship. That's why India is kind of neutral. They don't want to be pro-Russia because they'll get sanctioned, but they're kind of secretly friends with America. But I don't think they really like them as much as Russia. But yeah. And then they destroyed Taliban with their terrorists after they went into Iraq, even though Saddam Hussein wasn't the best person. He was the best person for the Christians. He might have been like want to make Babylon, he's a bit suspicious as well, but he was the best person for the Christians. And then they toppled him. ISIS happened. America sponsored ISIS. They probably did some funny things behind Iraq's back to destroy the country. And then after ISIS, which America says they were helping fight against them, but America, they always help. They probably fought ISIS or something, but also they probably they also supported them or something, because America's suspicious with these things. We never trust them. And then there was and then that went into Syria and the Kurdish people. Now Kurdish is Turkey doesn't like them, which we don't. Maybe that's a good thing, because we don't want them to be on Turkey's side. But they're on America's side, but they're not the worst people. But I haven't heard the best things about them, so they might be a bit, I think, communist or socialist or something. But I don't think they're that bad compared to other things. But yes, Kurdish people, they're not too bad. I don't think so. But there's in Iraq and Syria, and Turkey wants to attack them. But then Turkey's not good, obviously. And then America is they're against Turkey, and they don't like Turkey. And then there was that one time that they shot a Turkish aircraft that was going to shoot Kurdish forces, I think. Yes, NATO and America shot down their own NATO partners force jets in Syria, I think, because yes, even America doesn't like Turkey. But we're not on America's team. We're more on Russia's team / observing, but we're leaning more to Russia than anyone else. and then there's the Kurdish people aren't too bad, but we have to keep an eye because they're America's friend. But then there was HGS, Al-Qaeda, which kind of is basically defeated now, but HTS, Hatar, HTS, Hatar, HTS is a terrorist thing that, they say they're not terrorists and they're moderate, but they've done bad things, and I never trust terrorists. So they're funded by Turkey, obviously, so we have to keep an eye on that. But they were in exile in this one city in the north of Syria, northwest near the Turkish border, and then there was kind of like a ceasefire and like a frozen conflict thing. And for a long time, with them in the northwest, in a little bubble next to in the city in northwest Syria, next to the Turkish border. And then north and Syria has Turkish troops there because they want to control immigrants and everything, and to be bossy in that dictatorship like Turkey is. USA isn't innocent, but their Kurdish troops are okay. They're not bad like ISIS or anything, but yes, they're there. And then there was Assad, and then for a long time it was good and then it was a frozen conflict for a long time, since 2019 when ISIS was defeated, in 2020 when the Erdogan ceasefire, they kind of had a ceasefire, and then after the Israel war, which the Gaza genocide and everything, and Hezbollah kind of they invaded Israel. Syria was kind of neutral, even though they let Iran missiles go over them, travel over them, and they were a land bridge for Iran. And basically, shut up. How you? Oh, just noisy. And no, stop it. Now, yes, they were a land bridge for Iran, and basically, you stop, impatient dog. Basically, they what didn't happen? Israel was nuking in Iran bases and everything because Israel terrorists, and then but Assad was kind of neutral. He didn't really care. And by the way, Assad is on our side. He's more neutral. He has a foundation to helping kids with not epilepsy, Down syndrome, and he helps poor and everyone. He's good with Christians, Druze, and minorities. And yes, he's good. He's from a Alawite, I think, what is it called? My Muslim minority group, Alawite, in the western coast of Syria, where Russia's 2 military bases are. And yes, and that's where the group is, in the west of Syria, on the coast where they are. Yes, and he's very good with minorities because he comes from one, and you can see he's good and peaceful, and in his face he's not like the other terrorists or anything. And then he was good with Russia and everyone. He was a good guy. Not innocent, because maybe he's done some things like everyone has, basically. he was like Putin. Yes, he's like Putin, and everyone's corrupt. But Putin and his friends, they're the best choice for us at the moment. And Putin, personally, I think is the best person. I even made a saint icon for him, Orthodox saint icon. Just like Saint Nicholas has one, Putin has one now, because I made one. Saint Tsar Nicholas has a saint icon. Putin has a saint icon because he's good. He deserves one. And Assad did some very good things, and he was, apart from some corruption here and there, he was good. And he killed people, but those people that he killed and put in prison were terrorists. It was needed to do that. It's in America being America and supporting terrorists, they were against him. So that's what you need to know, that he was good, and don't listen to the media, because they're very wrong a lot of the time, basically all of the time, the Western media anyways. I'm sure the Eastern media, like in Russia and everything, is a bit sketchy, but nothing like the Western one. No. Move. Stubborn dog. This dog doesn't want to move. Anyway, let's keep talking, because she doesn't want to move. But anyways, we'll keep walking. We can just drag her if she wants. And yes, and he's a good person. But because he's friends with Russia, and he's actually improving Syria, and America did nothing but actually. He even said in an interview, I think in an interview with in 2 or 3 years ago, that America was doing nothing and even helping and the Kurdish people and even ISIS, and not helping Assad because he was a Russia's person. They were not caring about him, only Kurdish forces, and maybe even helping ISIS or something. Something like that, he said. And then Russia came along, and helped them act more. Stubborn dog. And then Russia came along and helped them. So that was good. And he said without Russia they wouldn't have done anything. Because yes, Russia with America, it's dangerous to be their enemy, but worse to be their friend. Dangerous to be their enemy, but yes, like that. So Russia, this proved that and you could see it in the map, that when Russia entered, it was a lot better for Syria. So many interruptions today. Anyways, let's go back. And you could see Assad said America was useless, even probably he was even probably helping ISIS or something by not doing a lot, even by helping Kurdish forces, and they were against Russia and Syria, so not good. And then when Syria got Russia's help in 2015-16, that changed the war. So yes, in Russia, you can say, oh, they carpet bombed the civilians or whatever. They carpet bombed nothing. If they only did the terrorists, if they were in the civilian buildings, just like in Ukraine, they're bombing schools in Ukraine because there's terrorists, Ukrainians underneath, Nazis. And then you can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, there's enough proof to say that Syria was saved by Russia. You can even see it in the maps. And yes, you can even see it in the maps. For the timeline maps, when Russia came in, they saved Bashar-Al-Assad, and then it was all good. And then Erdogan came in, but they did with his invading northern Syria thing. But they did a short ceasefire because it didn't really get a permanent peace because of Erdogan's stupid policy of fascist policies. But yes, and then during Israel war, Turkey is America's friend, pretending to be Russia's friend and America's friend, more like their own friend. And they're pretending to be in NATO, but they're not really in NATO. They're doing their own thing, attacking Greece. Even though I don't support NATO, I think it's a colonialist, stupid alliance fascist thing. I don't support Turkey, and they're working against. We can all agree that they're working against NATO and attacking a NATO country, Greece, which proves this. And yes, they attacked Greece. They're constantly threatening to attack Greece, a NATO country. They don't like NATO. They're pretending to be close to Russia, but they're supporting Ukraine. They're supporting in Syria. They're attacking American Kurdish armies in Iraq and Syria. They're against everyone. Iran, America, Russia, everyone. They're the terrorist Ottoman Empire. That's what it is. And the Neo-Ottoman Empire, Erdogan's Neo-Ottoman terrorist empire. That's what it is. But then Turkey saw that, and also they're saying they're against Israel. That's total bullshit, because there's a pipeline going from their friend Azerbaijan, which is an Israel's ally, and then their friend is Azerbaijan, is an Israel ally, and Armenia isn't. They're pro-Palestine because they can't. Armenia is Azerbaijan's enemy, and Armenia is good on the Russia and Greece's side, and Azerbaijan bad. They're on Turkish side. They invaded Armenia twice and won the second time, 2020 and 2022, 2023, I think. And they won in 2023. The 2020 was more of like a ceasefire thing, and 2023 was the second Azerbaijan-Armenia war. In the 90s, Armenia got Karabakh because they were a lot stronger then. But then the tables turned when Armenia when they became not as strong, because with Turkey's help, Turkey was the first country, I think one of the first, to recognize Azerbaijan breaking away from the Soviet Union, and they helped them, and then that's how they became so strong, and with their oil fields and everything, they became very strong, yes, and then that's how they nearly won the first 2020 war to take back Karabakh. But it was a ceasefire. 2023, I think it was 2022 or 2023 was the year that they took back Karabakh and killed many Armenians, and they're just as fascist as their friend Turkey. But at least they're honest that they support Israel. Turkey supports Israel, and there's even a pipeline going through there. Through Turkey, from Azerbaijan through Turkey to Israel, and they don't want to shut it off. But they don't talk about that. They only talk about how much they hate Israel, but they don't talk about it's all word, no action. He even said, "Oh, I'm gonna invade Israel." He said, "I'm gonna invade Israel." Erdogan said that. No, that was no all word, no action. That's what it was. So yeah, because if you wanted to do action, he would go into Israel, attack them. They're a very strong country, Turkey, and shut off the pipeline. But no, they're just maybe they help Palestine and Hamas and the in the courts and everything, and by recognizing them, but nothing more than paperwork and money and talking and no action. All talk, some paperwork, some UN paperwork, and saying we recognize this and that, and then we condemn this and that, and then they secretly say, here's your gas. Thank you, Azerbaijan. I hope you don't mind that we support we're against Israel, your ally. Oh, no problem. You keep doing that. Everyone thinks you're the good guy here. That's how it is. And then they all hug each other, Israel, Azerbaijan, and Turkey. Because what comes around, it goes around. When the God sees what they've done, all three, Israel will be punished. Also, if you think, well, I'll make another video if that's about if Israel is the chosen one, which they're not. The Orthodox Church believes they're not chosen, because Israel, modern day Israel, is a Jewish fascist state, and the ancient Israel took the form of the Orthodox Church, but more on that on another video. Now, yes, and yes. So that's not good what they're doing, and they'll be judged. But then Turkey took the opportunity, because they're a U.S. ally, they're in NATO, they're friends with America. Israel doesn't like Syria. They want to take over Syria, make a new Ottoman Empire. They want to weaken Syria because they don't really like Iran or Russia. Different Muslim religions than Iran. And so they used America and Israel's help with planning this attack against them in Syria, and even Ukraine helped. The terrorists, I think. There's some people say that even Ukraine helped Trump. Even some say Iran helped kill Trump. I don't know about that, but some people say Ukraine helped kill Trump. Maybe because Trump is anti-Ukraine, pro-Russia, and Ukraine also helped. There's evidence and papers and things like that say, and videos on YouTube and the Rumble or something, I think, that says that Ukraine helped the Muslim terrorist rebels in Syria against the Assad regime, and against Russia, and it was like Ukraine and Russia fighting in Syria, something like that. And with all of those people against Russia and Iran and their allies, plus Russia distracted in Ukraine, it was bad for Assad because all his allies were distracted in Palestine, in Ukraine, Lebanon. In Lebanon, yes, not good. And it wasn't good at all until the not good happened, when he was in really bad shape. He couldn't fight back, and the Turkish, they got all fancy equipment from Turkey, and Assad was kind of weak because he fighting it weakened Syria, and it was over. All his allies couldn't help. Russia helped him. Iran tried to, but terrorist America did what terrorist America does best and bombed the troops going from Iraq into Syria, from eastern Syria. Not good. Yeah. So that was over in a week. I think not a week. Yes, less than a week. I think yesterday toppled the government, and he went to Russia today, I think, yesterday he was on a plane from Damascus, because in a week, or less than a week, maybe 5 days, it only took them that long. The terrorist pro-Turkish militia, HTS, they took Aleppo by surprise. They went down the highway to Homs. It was all over by that time for them. And they took Damascus very quickly. Very, very quickly. And then, I think 5 days ago, it feels like more like 3 to 5 days ago this happened. 3 to 5 days ago, around a week ago, 3 to 5 days ago, the Syria thing happened after the Lebanon ceasefire. Then Israel opened another fight for Iran, which couldn't help Iran enough. Iran's allies, Hezbollah weakened, Hamas weakened. Iran is kind of stressed about this. They're very weakened, not as strong as they used to be, but still okay. The Houthis are still there, but they can't really do anything other than ballistic missiles, and they're probably done after they get focused attention on them. And not good, very bad happening to them. But yeah, it's not good for Iran and their allies in Russia. But then something bad happened yesterday, and because Assad fled mysteriously, and people thought he crashed. He went on a plane, crossed the Syrian border, and he left. People said, "Oh, he's dead. His plane crashed for some reason." But no, he met his friend Putin, so he's nice and safe in Russia. And Kurdish forces are still there. The terrorists are still there. The pro-Turkey terrorists are still there. And yes, and Russia is playing the neutral game, and Iran are kind of neutral, hoping for the best outcome. And maybe they're not very pro-Turkish. I think they kind of have a Kurdish ceasefire thing with the HTS and HTS as a ceasefire with Kurdish forces, and Turkey doesn't like that. I'm sure of that, because the Kurdish forces are their allies, and a quarter of Turkey, maybe around a quarter of Turkey is Kurdish land, and if they succeed to take that Kurdish part, it's the biggest part of Turkey that it's the biggest part of the Kurdish territories, which is Turkey, and if they succeed, that's a quarter gone of Turkish land, of official Turkish land. And that's not good for Turkey, but what's worse is that they're not. It's good that they're not as bad as Al-Qaeda, but they're still not innocent, this HTS, and they're funded by Turkey, which supports them and other terrorist things here and there, other terrorist organizations here and there. So that's not good either. But they're more neutral than anything. They have a ceasefire with Kurdish forces and armies and everything, and they're kind of autonomous from Erdogan. They're friendly to Israel, which isn't a good thing, and especially not for Turkey. And yes, but I think for now they're friendly with Israel. We don't know what will happen in the future. In the future, maybe they might attack Israel. Who knows? They said they want to be the next Hamas. I don't know what to feel about them. I guess they're against Israel. Maybe some people say they're allied with Israel and America, or they're in this whole global order thing secretly. But I like that Hamas is anti-Israel and pro-freedom against the Jewish genocidal country. So yes, but they're not too bad. But I don't know what you think about them, but they're okay, I guess. Hamas. I guess someone has to fight for Palestine, right? And so yes, and they want to be the next Hamas. They said I don't think they love Israel. They said that to make Israel more happy, because Israel helped them because it was their common interest, just like Soviet Union and the Allies didn't agree with each other, but they had a common goal against Germany. And then they kind of split. Well, that happened with Assad. They had a common goal against Assad. Now they're friendly with each other, Israel, and I think they have the Golan Heights, and they made some explosions over the border with Syria. Israel did some explosions there against bases and ammo storage facilities that they might have. So the former Assad storage facilities that they might have there. So yeah. But they're not that bad. They worked against their enemy. But I think they even said they love Israel. I don't know how true that is, but I feel like they also said they want to be the next Hamas. So they probably say that to make Israel happy and seem like everything's okay, but they're not really super friends with Turkey, but they're loyal to them, but they're more autonomous. They're kind of neutral with Kurdistan, which makes Turkey pretty pissed off. They don't like Israel, but they won't say it. They're kind of neutral with them, which angers, which they're not really into Iran, so they're loyal to Iran. They're mostly loyal to themselves, so they kind of are their own thing. So I guess that's a third thing. They're not too bad or good, but they have their good and bad side. But I would still rather have Kurdistan than a terrorist state in charge. I would rather, what am I saying? No, I would rather have Assad rather than a terrorist state in charge. And yes, but that's what it is. And Assad is safe in his house in Russia, which is good. So yeah, and he was from a minority, but he also supported the Shiite people of Syria. There's a lot, just like Iran and Yemen have a lot of Shia, I think. I'm not an expert on this or anything. Yes, just like Yemen, they're all Shia, Yemen, Iran, Yemen, Hezbollah, Syria, Iraq, and then Sunnis, I think. Sunnis, the people, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia, and everyone like that. So that's like, and then there's other people like Alawites and Druze and Christians, another minority. Alawites are Muslim, but they're a minority, and I don't think they're that bad. They're native, like Druze people and Christians, and the few Jews left there in Syria. And I think that's how Assad was an Alawite person. They're from western Syria on the coast with Russian bases and everything. And that's on the western coast with the Russian bases. That's where they're from. And he was good with the minorities, and he was more secular, but he wasn't secular, he was Muslim, but he was tolerant of Christian people. Whatever you say of him, I think he was the best person Syria could have, and now Syria is basically screwed with these terrorists. But Syria is basically screwed with these terrorists. That's what happened now. And now but luckily that's a prophecy that Syria but luckily that's a prophecy that Syria will be in chaos for a while until the capture of Constantinople, and someone worse comes and shuts the gate of Constantinople in Istanbul, and then the Battle of Constantinople will happen for 13 days and 10 nights or something, and the streets filled with blood. And yes, and Greece's golden age, and then Christ comes in the second coming finally. So I guess for a long time until Christ comes, Syria will be in chaos, which will probably be like quite a while, but probably not because of all this chaos. We're already up to Syria. It's like a book novel. We're already up to Syria in this crazy story of Christ's second coming. We ticked out Syria in chaos and the topple of Assad regime, and now next will be I have a strong feeling that maybe in October, because before my holiday to Greece in September, I had a strong feeling that something will happen in October, but something did happen in October when we were coming back, and that's the Iran missile crisis thing. We were over Iran when that happened. So yeah, now Syria, and now something else will happen in October and November, I think, next year, and that could possibly be now that Erdogan is hitting his all-time high, that could possibly be him getting thrown out and someone else coming into Turkey, and a Turkish civil war, and something similar to Syria, and someone else, the Antichrist, comes in. I've seen a video today about Antichrist, and it shows that he comes from Turkey or something. That's the thumbnail saying, but probably, I don't know if it's true or not, but I feel like that could be how it is. But yes, we have to be very careful, because this is nearly the end. We have to trust Jesus Christ and His church, become more orthodox, and believe and be a part of the orthodoxy or death to the world thing movement. If you're not orthodox, then you're against God. More like, if you're not orthodox and serious, and if you're not with orthodox and against the world completely, then you're with the world, and that's not good. And orthodoxy until death, that's what it means. Annoying dogs. Now, yes, disruptions, but let's continue. It doesn't mean orthodoxy or death. Orthodox or death, but it doesn't mean orthodox or death, like you die. Oh no, it doesn't mean that. That's some pagan, satanic thing. That's not what Orthodox and Christianity is about. It's orthodoxy until death. You follow Christ. You're with Him. It's kind of complicated because there's a deeper meaning, but it's not what you think. It's more deeper meaning. You have to be close to Him until death, something like that. A better version of this would be death to the world. You might think that's a bit harsh, but that's basically the same thing. That's what it means. That's where I think it comes from, death to the world movement. And it's a means to shut off the secular, normal, modern world and become live like a monk. Because our modern world is very secular and atheist and modern, doesn't mean we can't. It doesn't mean we have to be separated. Like, oh, you're a monk. That's boring. Your love life is dead. You don't have sex or whatever. You're so boring. No, they might look dead to you on the outside, but they're more full than you will ever be inside for a normal person. For a normal person that says, oh, monks they're living dead lives, they're so boring. That's the point. God said to be humble, not to go to strip bars every now and then, every weekend, go clubbing with your mates. He didn't say that. He said Jesus taught to be humble, to be dead to the world, but to be alive inside. That's what monks are. And some people are like, when people get married, they think, oh, well, I want to get married. I don't want to be this boring monk. I don't have to be a monk. I can have an exciting life and be married. Well, let me tell you something. It doesn't change if you're married or a monk or not. You can be a monk. You can be single but not a monk. And you can be married and not a monk. But you still follow the monk's lifestyle, the Christian lifestyle. That's what I've learned from my spiritual, because recently I've become more spiritual and orthodox. That's what I've learned, that you don't have to be a monk to become all spiritual and orthodox and live like that. You can, like in the olden days, more than like even 50 years ago, 100, 200 years ago, couples were living traditionally, and they were similar to how monks live. Maybe that was more like 500 years ago, but you get what I want to say. Single people, if they're single, they can have a Christian life. They don't have to be a monk or a nun. If they're married, they should live a Christian life, like if they're not married. And but the best, if they really want to give their whole life to God, they can become a monk or a nun. So that's good. And yeah, we talked about Assad regime today, and the topple of that, and the New World Order that's coming, and the prophecies, and the dictatorship, the Muslim dictatorship that's coming up soon, that took over from Assad. The Muslim dictatorship that took over from Assad, we talk about that. And yes, it's an update on the prophecies, and soon we could see Erdogan overthrown as soon as next year, or sooner, hopefully, or not hopefully, because there'll be a lot of bloodshed, maybe even nuclear bombs dropped, so maybe in a year or two. So this might give us time, so we're prepared. And I saw this on the internet, on on YouTube, but I think it's a Rumble video. They made it a YouTube video about it, that there will be a new virus like polio coming out in 2025 called SEERS, SEERS, SEERS. In the COVID, they made it to kill the old people, and SEERS will be to kill the young people and the babies. They want to kill everyone, these New World Order people. They'll come out of Belgium. It was even out of a lab in Belgium. This one probably came out of a lab in America or China or something. China, probably, I think. But America, we don't trust America here. America probably had something to do with, definitely had something to do with COVID as well. Because everyone's united in this. All the bad people of the world, they're united. And so we have to be united. Orthodoxy until death. Orthodoxy or death. And so we have to be united as Christians, as Orthodox people, against these people, because even China, they might be into this. We don't know. I don't think Putin is fighting the biolabs, and China's his friend, and we should trust Putin, but we don't know this. It's so complicated behind the scenes. We can't trust anyone. The CIA made this coronavirus, probably with the help of China or something. But we can't trust anyone these days. And now this will be made in Belgium, this news virus, and it was a leaked news report and data that was in a Rumble, but they made it on. You also go on the Rumble because it has useful videos like this. When the people, the evil people and the devil shuts down the internet, and places like YouTube don't exist, Rumble will be the last stand for free speech. Twitter maybe with Elon Musk, but the Rumble definitely. Yes, and they said it's coming out of Belgium 2025, so be prepared for that. And I really hope that you're prepared for next year or a couple months. You have supplies, because it could get violent. It could be very violent, especially with the Assad regime gone, this dictatorship in place. We have to be ready. We have to be united like Orthodox, generally as Orthodox people, and generally as Christians, we should be more united against these people. They're united, these people, bad people around the world. Even Hamas might be with Israel. We don't know. We have to be together and watch these things together. And anyways, I hope you enjoyed my video. Like, subscribe, like, share, comment, everything. Go and watch my YouTube. Yanis 138 Freedom on the Rumble and other YouTube and Rumble, especially Rumble channels, and check that channel out, because you never know in the end of times when things are getting censored. You just go and check it out. It could be useful in the future. That's all I'm telling you. And Patristic, Nectar, and Orthodox Ethos, I think they're on the Rumble as well, but on YouTube or another YouTube Orthodox websites and things like that, be careful and watch those and read your Bible and become more Orthodox and Christian day by day. And I hope you're blessed, and I hope you have a nice day. God bless you.